Hey folks, Drunken Homemaker here, and she back. At least for now. I am back for now. A lot of time has gone by. It's been a while, but enough about that. We'll get into that in just a bit. Today, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be repotting this plant that I found. It is called a Peru Monstera. You may not know this about me, but my mom is Peruvian, so anytime I see a plant with Peru, Incan, Incana in the name, she gots to have it. So, look at this. It's so pretty too. Hold on, let me see if I can. It's so pretty. I love it. So, anywho, we're going to be repotting this guy today and just making sure that we're getting rid of anything that might be in the soil. So, let's get right into it. I got this repotting mat on Amazon, and I'm going to put it together, and then we're going to make a little mess. I used to use just the top of a storage bin, and that wasn't really working for me. So I'm glad that I spent a bit of money on this, and yeah, let's get started. So I'm going to put together this mat. Hopefully it doesn't make too much noise. So I'm just going to move this plant to the side. And it's a very simple mat, hashtag not sponsored. I paid for this with my own money. Okay, so the mat just looks like this. And then it's got these little snaps that you snap together like this on all four corners. So that being said, I'm going to put it together and try not to make too much noise while doing that. This is actually really easy to put together, and it's quite large, which is great because I am a bit messy. I have my soil here, which is just a mix of weeds and soil and compost. I think I put worm castings in there, and I added some perlite, and I even think I added some bark in there just to be like a general all-purpose type of soil. Look how big this is. Again, this is not strictly for educational purposes, so if you can't really see what I'm doing, it's because it's not really, you've seen one repot, you've seen them all. But this guy is so cute, and I just wanted to give it some nice fresh soil, a nice fresh start. So I'm just going to pull the little tag out of here and then move it over here, and I'm just going to start removing the soil. And again, just wanted to catch up, tell you where I've been, what I've been doing. I'm going to give this a rinse in the sink in just a bit. All right. So right before I started shooting this video, I watched my last video, which I believe was like a, just tips and tricks for propagating rubber plants. I was just trying to, and I think that was about 11 months ago. Just a little bit of time. But I wanted to sort of do this loosey-goosey, not too much stress. What's also fun about this video is that I'm trying out a new lens. I tried this mic out before, but I really don't have a ton of experience with it, so that's why I'm like excited to try again. All right, and I let this dry out purposefully. Oh, let me just move the camera down a little bit. Okay, so you can see this kind of fell apart a little bit. You can't quite see me as much, but I think that's okay. All right, so I'm just removing the soil, which it just looks like it's mostly like peat. Doesn't look like there's much of anything in terms of perlite or anything useful for this plant. So I'm actually glad that we are getting in here and doing this. And I'm just going to try to remove as much soil from the roots as possible, because we're going to give it a fresh start today. All right. So this leaf is not looking great, so I'm going to remove it. I'm just going to remove any of the leaves that are kind of, struggle busting it a little bit, just to give it a fresh start and to not have the plant have to sustain growth that's not really nice. That one's a little, nothing wrong with crummy looking leaves, but just want to make sure I give this plant, because I really love this plant. I want to give it a really good start. Okay, this one doesn't have that many roots. Interesting. Yeah, this one's looking a little weak. All right. Look at that. That's just one. That's pretty cool. Oops, sorry. It's just one there. This one didn't have too many roots on it, which is disappointing, but that's okay. And then we've got these two, and then this one, which has a goodly amount of roots on it. Quite nice. And then we've got this one that's pretty much dead, but it's got a root system, so I'm going to still try to propagate it. I'm just going to move the soil that's spent a little bit further back. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to move the camera back up, because this isn't really about the repot as much as like I'd like to catch up and see how all of y'all are doing and tell you how I am doing, which is a mixed bag these days. It's good. It's good and it's bad. It's good, it's bad, you know? You can absolutely give this a rinse. I think that they recommend that you rinse cans like with like a 1 part bleach, 3 parts water solution. I don't know that that's necessary today. I think this is a fairly healthy plant, I think. And I'm not gonna do that. Just not gonna do it. That's it. But this plant is really lovely, and I just wanted to do this and and just have something to do on camera. Like, that's where I'm at. All right. So I've got this soil. This is all fresh soil. Just going to replace it. And then I'm just going to place these cuttings in there. So let's see, what's going on with me? A lot. I took a career break to pursue my playwriting, which was a trip. It was a trip, is what I will say. It was good. At times it was bad. And I'm glad I did it, but I've definitely learned a lot about myself and how I am as a creative and what I look for, in my creativity. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. I think that I stopped making videos on YouTube because I think I'm very good at teaching, right? I think I've taught a good amount of my time on earth, and I like it, but I also don't like the pressure that comes with doing that for the plant community, is what I will say. Now, again, with that, no shade to the plant community. I think it is a lovely community, and I think there's all good things. But for myself personally, I just don't enjoy the amount of pressure that there is with that. I've just noticed that it's very intense, and I don't think that I want to be a part of that. Very intense and a little judgmental, if I'm being honest. And I actually don't enjoy that aspect of PlantTube, if that's what you want to call it. So what I'm focusing on is creating content that I enjoy, not for this, and not tying it to an outcome. So not for the sake of making money, not for the sake of, YouTube clout, any of that. I just kind of want to create content that I'm excited about because I'm excited about it. That's where I'm at. But yeah, it's been a really interesting year of growth and pain and suffering. But it's all good because I'm still here. So I didn't do a great repot job, but like it looked way better before, but that's okay because this plant is going to take off probably as soon as we hit spring into summer. I might even put it outside to just kind of really, really take advantage of the humidity. I think this plant will really, really enjoy that. That's dusty. Okay, I'm back. All right, so this is the broken baking dish. You can see I filled it up with some water. You can see it's missing a handle, but it's so cute on the inside. I don't know if you can see that design. It's really, really beautiful. So I use it for watering my plants now, especially plants that, you know, have been really dry for really long. I just put it in there and let it sit there for, you know, 10 minutes to 20 minutes while it draws up all the water from its roots. And I think that this plant could do with that. It's got all fresh soil. Yeah, I think it's gonna look really good in a few weeks. I'm excited. All right, so let me put that plant there to butt chug. I probably shouldn't call it that, right? I don't know what it's called though. All right. And then I'm gonna dump this soil along with the cuttings into my compost pile because I don't think it's diseased. I could be wrong, but. And we're just gonna sit and we're gonna chat. Okay, so where have I been for literally the last 11 months? It's a long story, but long story short, I quit my job, which for various reasons was taking a toll on my mental health. And I decided to go full steam ahead with my playwriting career. I spent the early spring, this is 2022. 2022, I spent early spring in Sarasota, Florida, for the world premiere of one of my plays called A Skeptic and a Bruja, which was really, really lovely. That was a rolling world premiere, so it went from Sarasota to St. Pete, which was exciting. And then I went to Texas in August for the world premiere of my first play, Curse with Puerto Ricans. And that was really, really fun. And then I went to a festival in Jersey also, I think it was like the week before that. And that was really exciting, where there was just like a reading of my play, A Skeptic and a Bruja done. But it was all really exciting opportunities. I had a really, really good time. But the thing that I struggled with during that time was finding the motivation to write. Let me go grab some water. I can't even imagine the amount of dirt that I've inhaled over the years. There's just like a pile of dirt sitting at the bottom of my lungs. I'm convinced of it. So yeah, so long story short, I had trouble finding the motivation to write, and recently have come to terms with the fact that the reason that I struggle to write so much, the reason that I struggle with anything creative is this expectation that I put on myself, society puts on me. I don't know where it's coming from, but the point is it's not fun. So I am committing myself to pursue creative or artistic endeavors with more of a sense of play, more of a sense of wonder. I want to just explore this type of work with just like that renewed sense of like what it's like for a kid to discover, you know, how to play in dirt for the first time. That's what I'm aiming for, and that's what I'm feeling in my gut I need right now. And that goes for all of my creative endeavors, you know, my writing, my very serious occupation of being a steward of, you know, my property and the plants in my home and, you know, my dog, all that good stuff. It's been a heck of a year, but I'm excited to hopefully, okay, not sure what happened with the camera. I don't know what happened. It just stopped. It was like, that's it, you're done. So I don't know what the last thing you heard was, but I think I'm going to call it here. I'm so excited for this growing season. I'm so excited for the spring to start. I'm excited to get out of my garden. I have a few projects left for these last few months of bitter cold that we have in Buffalo. There's just a few things that I would like to work on. So I will get that stuff done, and I will hopefully take you along with me for all of that. Something is going on with the camera. I'm not sure what's happening. This might not be usable, but that's okay. Nothing is a waste of time, especially when you're just doing it for fun. Thank you so much, as always, if you're tuning in. If you've been wondering where I've been, I have been on a journey of self-discovery, of healing, all of it, and I am happy to have a little bit of a platform. I missed doing this. It's so funny. I actually, full disclosure, I had completely given up on ever posting anything on this channel. I literally went through like and wiped everything off of my external hard drive. Like I had all these like in progress videos, video footage, projects in progress, and I deleted it all. This was like a few months ago, and I was like totally okay to walk away and never do this again. And then a few weeks ago, I got the bug again, and I wanted to do it. And then I started dreading, you know, what's going to happen if I post again. But I'm happy that I'm doing this, and I hope that you will continue to tune in. I hope that you enjoyed this really bizarre repotting. So yeah, hit the like button if you like content like this. This is just going to be a repot with me, talking with my plants type deal. So as always, thank you for coming on this journey with me, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!